Welcome to the MudTech stage at the 2014 NGWA Expo. Welcoming Richard Layton. Richard, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Now you are here because you're a double winner. So let me get your bio in here. Stealing from the great program that you get here at the Expo. You are from Cal State Fullerton. You're going to receive the 2014 Keith E. Anderson Award. That's presented by the NGWA Scientists and Engineers Division in recognition of outstanding contributions to the association. But you will also going to be awarded the prestigious Oliver Award. The Ross L. Oliver Award is presented to a member who has made outstanding contributions to the groundwater industry. When it comes to both awards, what are your thoughts when you found out that you had won both of those awards?
Surprised. The Keith Anderson Award is for dedication and service to the industry, or to the NGWA. And I've certainly served on boards and been actively a member for nearly 20 years just in the association as an active member. And so it kind of seems like I'm old.
No way.
Yeah. The Oliver Award was for contributions to the industry as a whole, and that one really took me by surprise. As an academic and teaching and trying to tutor students and try to make them learn as much about groundwater so they can go in the industry and all avenues and facets of the industry has been fun and challenging at times and very rewarding. But it's surprising that that people thought highly enough of me that I've given enough back to the industry as a whole, because there's certainly I'm following people with their large shoes that somehow don't think my shoe size is quite that big.
Right. And in talking to you, it sounds as though your experience in this industry really has covered the gamut. You're some pretty humble beginnings to what you're doing now.
Yeah, I started out as an oceanographer from St. Cloud, Minnesota, which you can't get far enough away from an ocean, so how I got an oceanography degree, who knows. And I found my way to Western Michigan University, and because they had a small little project due in Lake Michigan. So within the first week there, I sunk their boat, the only boat the university had.
Good start.
Yeah, so they took me over and said, you know what, you're not seafaring material here, so why don't we take you out and we have a drilling rig, and why don't you come along and see what we're doing? And I didn't even know what groundwater was at that time. And so I went out with them, and they said, you know what, you're getting the hang of this drilling thing pretty good. Why don't you become our driller for the next 7 or 8 years? So I became a driller for the university. I was drilling hollow stem auger and mud rotary, a little direct push, and really got to understand hydrogeology by feeling and talking to the drilling rig, believe it or not. And so that's how I started, was actually drilling and trying to keep all 10 fingers from being severed. Then when I got done with my doctorate degree, I went and worked in the manufacturer and supplier side of things. I made and worked with a group that manufactured specialized sampling equipment, and so I've worked on the manufacturer supplier side of NGWA, and then ultimately left that and become an academic. And at the same time as being an academic, I did a lot of consulting and worked with the consulting groups, and still actually own a small consulting company now. So I've worked in every division within NGWA, and what makes NGWA so special from association is it's the only association in the world that I've ever recognized that covers every aspect of a single topic.
Yeah. Well, we congratulations on the awards, and look forward to seeing you around here. This is always a special time to get together, the Expo and this convention, isn't it?
It absolutely is. I mean, I have friends that I see year after year after year, and we may not talk the rest of the year, but you see them in the end of the hallway, and you just run up to them and shake their hand and see how their family's been. Is a great time to get together and a great time to learn.
Yeah.
And share new experiences, because every year someone's learning something new. And as I tell my students, every time you dig a hole, it's different than the last hole you did.
Right, yeah. Well, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you around here at the 2014 NGWA Expo.
Thank you.
I'm Peter Gravatt, Director of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Office of Groundwater and Drinking Water. This month marks the 40th anniversary of the Safe Drinking Water Act, and it's an important time to celebrate our tremendous accomplishments and take stock of the challenges ahead. Before the Safe Drinking Water Act, we lacked the resources and tools to adequately protect the nation's drinking water. Sewage and chemicals were openly discarded into the nation's water, impacting not only surface water but groundwater quality as well. We regulated only 28 substances in drinking water, and 40% of the water systems failed to meet those standards. Half of drinking water systems had major deficiencies in disinfection, clarification, or pressurization in the system. Today, the U.S. enjoys the finest public drinking water system in the world. 290 million Americans are served by public water supplies, and Americans drink over 1 billion glasses of water a day from those systems. There are federal regulations for over 90 substances in drinking water, and over 93% of systems meet those standards every day of the year. And through the Drinking Water State Revolving Loan Fund, we've invested over $28 billion in more than 10,000 projects to improve drinking water. This great progress is due to the great work of water professionals at the local, state, and federal levels, including the members of organizations like the National Groundwater Association. And groundwater is a tremendously important resource to the nation. Over 100 million Americans rely on groundwater for their drinking water supply. And significant challenges remain. This year alone, we've seen drinking water emergencies in the cities of Charleston and Toledo due to source water contamination from chemicals and harmful algal blooms. In Charleston, the water was shut down for 5 days at an estimated cost to the state of over $70 million. Toledo was impacted by a major harmful algal bloom fed by nutrients entering Lake Erie from throughout the watershed. These events point to the tremendous importance of source water protection, both for surface water as well as groundwater supplies. We are also seeing significant challenges from extreme weather events such as Hurricane Katrina and Superstorm Sandy on the coasts, and Tropical Storm Irene and the 1,000-year storm that impacted Boulder, Colorado in 2013, as well as the historic droughts that we're seeing in Texas, Oklahoma, California, and many other parts of the country. At EPA, we're working with states, communities, and the water sector to prepare to meet these challenges. And groundwater resources will play an important role in this effort, whether through aquifer storage and recovery projects or drinking water replenishment projects we see in Florida, Texas, California, and communities all across the United States. It's an important time to celebrate our tremendous accomplishments under the Safe Drinking Water Act and to redouble our efforts to meet the challenges ahead. At EPA, we look forward to working with partners across the water sector like the National Groundwater Association, and I thank each of you for all the important work you do every day to provide safe drinking water to the American people.
Here on the floor of the 2014 NGWA Expo, booth number 857, where you're going to find our friends from Mud Technology. John Miller, how are you, sir?
Fine, David. How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you once again. You all are great partners of the association, really contribute a great deal. Glad to have you back to be a part of it this year.
Well, we feel like you guys are necessary, and you get the word out to the industry, tell everybody about what's going on, and help you guys make an informed decision. So we appreciate you.
We here at NGWA TV really do appreciate it. Talk to us about this piece of machinery right here. What do we have?
Well, it occurred to us that we come every year and we bring our mud recyclers, but Mud Tech is so much more than just mud recycling equipment. We build a line of, for instance, our DCP centrifugal external drilling pumps for the water well drilling contractors that might not have enough horsepower on their rig to be able to drill the deeper wells, or maybe their rigs broke down as far as their centrifugal. And this allows them to continue to drill or to actually drill deeper wells. We have 3 models of this unit. We have the 125, which we brought this time, the 100, and the 80. Okay. All 3 of the units are diesel powered. They are the centrifugal pumps. This particular unit will put up 165 psi, and it'll do it at about 400 gallons a minute.
And there's other interesting components about this. I want to come around here because I want to get a look at this lever over here. Let's take a look at that. And I want you just to kind of tell us what that does and the value of it, and what do you believe it adds here?
Sure. We actually put a PTO drive on these units, and what it allows us to do is to crank this engine up cold without and not under a load. So when the drilling contractor's on the location, first thing in the morning, he crank the engine up, allow it to idle, and then when it goes under a load, by just flipping this lever, it allows him to go to work. And then at the same time, when he has his connections, he can just flip the lever out and let the engine set and idle instead of cranking and killing this unit all day long.
Well, this is this and many other things you're going to find at its booth number 857, Mud Technology. Anything else you want to be sure and tell the folks before they find you guys on the floor?
Just welcome to the Groundwater Show, and we look forward to meeting each and every one of you.
John Miller of Mud Technology. Be sure and find them booth 857 right here at the 2014 Groundwater Expo. Pleased to welcome here at the 2014 NGWA Expo and the MudTech stage, Ron Peterson. Good to see you again, sir.
Good to be here.
Now, last year we spoke with you here on Groundwater TV as a recipient of the prestigious Oliver Award. This year you're here to talk about the McElhaney Lecture. An honor, another honor to be the one to give that lecture?
Very much an honor, and I'm grateful to the McElhaney Committee for offering it to me, and to the National Groundwater for supporting it, and to Halliburton for allowing me to take the time to make the commitment and to follow through with doing the lecture. It will take up a lot of time. We have 28 lectures scheduled throughout next year at this time.
So 28 lectures all across the United States?
All across the United States and in Adelaide, South Australia, and Valencia, Spain, and of course there are 3 in Canada.
Right, you've got a busy year ahead of you. Now, the lecture is also going to be taking place today from 3:30 to 5 in N101 and 102. It's called Drilling Fluids, a Common Sense Approach. Just give us a little bit of taste of what we can expect.
When they came to me, they told me that they did not want a standard drilling fluids talk. And I concurred with that. You can find those kinds of talks all over the place. All of the vendors have 1, 2, 4, 1 day, 4 day, 5 day presentations that they will put on for you to teach you the specific details of any aspect of drilling fluids. So what we're going to do, and they asked me to talk a little bit about the history of drilling, which I'm going to do, a little bit about the history of bentonite as a drilling fluid additive. I'm going to do that, a little bit about polymers, and a little bit about grouts, and then I'm just going to talk about using a common sense approach in everything from deciding where the well is going to be to how it's going to be drilled and how it's going to be completed.
Again, that talk will take place, the McElhaney Lecture, and the kickoff presentation is going to be from 3:30 to 5 p.m. That's in 101 and 102 right here on the first floor at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Mr. Peterson, good to see you again.
Good to be here.
And thanks so much. Look for that talk, Drilling Fluids, a Common Sense Approach, later today, right here at the 2014 NGWA Expo.
Did you know every NGWA member, including you, is eligible to serve as a board director?
The offer came for me to run for the NGWA board, and I just stepped on forward and did it. It was an opportunity that may not ever come again.
Being an NGWA board director is a rewarding experience that comes with certain responsibilities, such as understanding NGWA's mission, vision, and policies, serving on committees and assignments, staying current on the industry, and assisting in the financial oversight that keeps NGWA healthy and growing. You will also be asked to give some of your personal time during monthly teleconference calls and in person just twice a year, including board meetings that happen during the Groundwater Expo.
For me, the decision was easy. It can be fun, it can be difficult. They certainly expect you to be on your game, and as well you should be. I mean, it is the National Groundwater Association after all.
You can't buy a seat on an NGWA board and you won't receive a salary. However, you will be reimbursed for any expenses related to your board service. NGWA also promises to provide all the support and tools you'll need to be a successful director, and if you are asked to travel on the association's behalf, NGWA will make all efforts not to overburden you.
I would encourage everybody to consider serving the National Groundwater Association. There is a little bit of work in it. There's some committee calls and some reading material and things that keep you up to speed on what's going on with the association, but you'll find that there's a lot of good people working here, a lot of dedicated people here that can help you out. Serving on the board is a great way to give back.
Please consider being an NGWA director by donating your time, experience, knowledge, and insight. Do it for your association, for your profession, and for yourself. Become a candidate for board service today. To learn more, ask any current director, past president, or any staff professional. They'll each be glad to hear from you.
We are pleased to welcome here at the 2014 Groundwater Expo to the MudTech stage, Chris Jackson. Chris is getting special recognition award in the Manufacturers Division Good to see you, Chris.
Well, good to be here.
A little bit of background on this award. It's given by the NGWA Manufacturers Division. It's an honor to honor an individual's accomplishments in the groundwater manufacturing industry, including but not limited to industry improvements, special education contributions, and patents and technology. When you found out that you were the winner of this award, kind of how did that make you feel? What were your thoughts?
Pretty good. I was excited, a little bit shocked, but there's a lot of people in this industry, and I got a lot of friends I've made over the course of the years.
Right.
And somewhat surprised, but really appreciative.
Yeah. You have many years invested in this industry, don't you? About how far back do you go here?
I started in May of '73, so I've working on over 40 years in the industry.
Right. And kind of give us an idea what you've seen changes from the manufacturer's side of this industry over those 40 years.
Well, I think when I first started, the territory sizes were relatively small because we didn't have the technology that we have today. So you would have a territory that might be portions of a couple states, and now it's not uncommon to cover a half a dozen states, so that you don't get down to the dealer level and see the dealers. We used to have a lot of relationships in smaller territories. You could see the dealers all the time. Mm-hmm. And we would know where all the pay phones were. We would, there was voicemails, cell phones weren't
right.
in existence, and there were, so technology has just enabled us to cover greater areas.
All right. And what can you say about this industry? It seems like whenever the expo takes place every year, it's many renewed friendships and folks who have worked together for a long time. This seems to be a unique industry in that respect.
It is. It almost seems that once you get in this industry, you get in it. If you've been in it for 2 or 3 years, chances are good that you're going to stay. You establish a lot of friends. You've got competitors, but it's a friendly industry. A lot of friends are made in this industry.
Well, congratulations, Chris Jackson, winner of the Manufacturers Division Special Recognition Award. Congratulations once again here from the 2014 NGWA Expo.
Thank you very much.
On the floor of the 2014 NGWA Expo, look who we run into, our friends from MudTech. Dwayne Witten, how are you, sir?
Doing pretty good.
Good to see you once again. Your booth this year, I think, is bigger and better than ever. Now, tell me what we are standing in front of, this beauty right here.
This is our mud recycling system for the water well industry. Okay. It's the RST 1400 that we brought this year. It's new to our lineup. Okay. We've got some integrated features there that I think the drillers out in the marketplace will really enjoy, and I think it's important features that they can.
Right, let's get hands on here and show us what we've got here.
Well, one of the first things that we did, we took some advice from the guys in the field, and we put 45-degree angles on these. This is important when a guy's connecting a hose to the unit. There's no tension on the hose when they go to connect. It makes it a lot easier to connect to. We've got 1/78 centrifugals on here, 3x4 centrifugals. It's a little bit larger than the smaller units that we have.
Right.
But fully functional, skid mounted. Once again, we put all the controls on this side of the unit to make sure that if they're in a street environment, all the connections are on the house side and on the street side, just for safety.
Right.
We've also got an integrated sack table and a hopper built onto the unit, so you can also, it's a mixing, cleaning system. This unit will clean about 400 gallons per minute. It's got 5 hydrocyclones, 5-inch cones. Each one of those is rated about 80 gallons a minute. This shaker also, the shaker that's on this unit is 36 square feet, which is huge in comparison to some of the ones that are out there on the market. So,
and there are some other additional features as well. Talk to us about some of the other aspects of this that really separate what you all offer at MudTech.
one of the things that we don't really advertise a lot is the undercoating that we put on each one of these units. I know up in the north where they've got salt and stuff they put on the roads, this undercoating will help to protect the unit over a long period of time, so protect their investment.
Right.
So.
And some screening as well back there, right?
Yes, just for this show model, we actually included 2 things. We've got a screen rack that's on the back that holds 6 additional screens, and we also have LED light on top, as you'll notice. Right. Work lights, night work lights, in case it gets dark before you get finished. Yeah. So it's a nice feature.
Reason to be proud of this one. I can tell that you're proud of what you've got here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
While the United States was deeply engaged in the war on terror, a group of Nevada civilian leaders formed an organization to provide financial support to the families of fallen Nevada warriors overseas. Nevada has lost 57 heroes in uniform on the battlefield, and we have provided immediate support for every family who would accept it. More than $500,000 in total, with no questions asked. As international events evolved, so have our efforts in Nevada. Today, the Nevada Military Support Alliance stands strong with a mission to organize and promote the recognition, support, and appreciation of Nevada's men and women of our armed forces, veterans, and their families. In addition to our payments directly to families, we have also distributed more than $1 million to these projects. Our most aggressive project to date is the capital funding for a Fisher House on the grounds of the new Southern Nevada VA Medical Center in Las Vegas. The NMSA has committed to raising $3 million to fulfill Nevada's local commitment to the Fisher House Foundation, with groundbreaking expected in 2015. As the only state with a major military base and medical center without a Fisher House, Nevada is excited to be able to care for our military and veteran families undergoing treatment. Make no mistake, our goal is to help Nevada become the most veteran-friendly state in the country, and the NMSA a beacon of best practices for military-oriented nonprofits everywhere.
On the floor of the 2014 Groundwater Expo with some of our favorite folks, our friend from Mud Technology, Beth Ann Miller. How are you?
I'm great, David. How are you?
Doing very well. Good to see you once again. And a couple of things that you all do every year that I think helps you stand out. You always have fantastic equipment, and it just seems like there's something special about the people that you bring on board, your team members.
Our team members are like our family. Without them, it wouldn't be great equipment. They take great pride in not only made in America, but made where it's going to hold up for the customer, and it's going to be there for many years for them to use.
Yeah, quality, integrity means a great deal to you. I'm going to go meet some of your folks here that you brought with you that whenever you come and visit the booth, you're going to get to meet as well, one of which is Megan. Megan, good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Doing very well. Now, from your perspective, what is it that really stands out about Mud Technology?
Our parts department, we understand that time is money. And when our customers are down, we take that very seriously. Any maker and model will get you your part and get it out as fast as we can.
You guys do a great job. Do a great job every year. Be sure and see Megan. She's going to be here in booth 857. You're also going to get to meet David. David, tell me from your perspective. Now, your role with the company is what?
I'm an electrician.
All right, you're an electrician. So tell us about the RST 990. What makes this piece of machinery so special?
Okay, well, this machine, well, as the name suggests, 990 has a 990-gallon tank capacity. Right. It's powered by IAC electrical contactors for motor control, driven by a 30 kW gen set. It offers all of our standard features, integrated sack table. We've moved on over to LED lights on the marker and the tail lights, so they're a lot more dependable. It's a lot of power in a small package for your drilling needs.
And you'll be here all week as well. Come meet David here again at the Mud Technology, their booth right here on the floor of the Groundwater Expo. I want to bring Beth Ann back in once again, because in addition to you having great equipment and great team members, you really are a forward-thinking company, aren't you?
We are. When we continue to look towards the future, global sustainability and everybody doing their part to protect our planet is so important, and that is a thing that we hold very close to our heart, and we'll continue to move in that direction, protect our planet for future generations.
That's right, a hallmark of this great company, Mud Technology. Be sure and visit them right here at this year's 2014 Groundwater Expo. Here on the floor of the 2014 Groundwater Expo with Scott Staten, Director of Portfolio Management for Franklin Electric. And tell us what you got right here. What are we looking at?
What we're looking at is a new product we've got, we just released here in 2014 in November. This is our new sub-drive. We've had a sub-drive product, provides constant pressure to the home via a well pump in the ground. And we've had this product for quite a few years, but this is a brand new version, completely updated. For 2015, really, for the full year. We're introducing it at NGWA here at the show. Got a lot of new features. We've completely redesigned the interior of it. A lot of things have changed over the last 10 years with components, electronic capabilities inside the drive. One of the coolest things, though, of this product for this year is we have a new app that connects to the drive. It connects wirelessly. So not only can we still set up the unit just like we have in the past, an installer easily plug and play this unit on the wall, matched with one of our products in the ground, can be set up with the dip switches. But now, if they're up with the technology, they've got an iPhone or an Android phone, download the app, connect right to the product. You see it flashing right there, and that'll allow you to connect right to the drive, and you have all your settings built right into it, overload settings, underload settings. What's even better, I don't have it connected right now, but you can actually see, and we can show this later, actually. But you can see the RPM of the pump, the frequency it's running, so an installer gets real-time feedback right there with the drive and on your iPhone, and it's actually got basically a megger or a multimeter built right into it as well. You can see the input and output.
That's an awesome, awesome display. Be sure and check out Franklin Electric. You'll see them right here on the ground floor of the 2014 Groundwater Expo. Pleased to be joined here at the 2014 Groundwater Expo on the MudTech stage with Cliff Tryons. Cliff, good to see you, sir.
No, thanks for letting me be here.
Well, you all with the Groundwater Association really do cover the gamut when it comes to this industry and do so many things. A major part of what you do has to do with public awareness and education relative to that. Tell us about what you do and what is of utmost concern at this point from your vantage point.
Well, we have two real concerns when it comes to the general public. One is helping to make sure that they understand the value of groundwater. It's the most important freshwater resource we have. I always like to ask people what percentage of fresh available water is groundwater versus surface water. And people are stunned to hear that about 99% of available fresh water is groundwater. That's according to the U.S. Geological Survey. So we want the public to know how to protect this resource. But then the other part is the private well owner who relies on groundwater for their private water supply. We want to make sure they know how to protect it and how to keep their well systems in good working order.
Right. And you, it sounds as though you really believe not only is that your job, but for the members of NGWA, it's just good business really for them to be proponents of that message as well.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I've found that people in the groundwater industry, not surprisingly, care more about groundwater than just about anybody else because they understand its value.
Right.
So for them to be able to impart that knowledge to the public, I think is a great thing in and of itself. Beyond that, for a water well professional or a groundwater professional to be able to put themselves forth as an expert to the public, I think is good marketing. If I was seeing somebody out there talking about this stuff, about wells and groundwater protection, I'd say, I want to go to that guy.
Right, yeah, yeah. If folks here at the Expo want to see and talk with you more about this, how can they find you?
Well, I will actually be staffing a booth Wednesday and Thursday, and the booth will be accessible if you come in the main doors of the convention center and take an immediate left. I will be in there, and I'll be happy to talk about what we do, and I will even provide tools that they can use to help promote public awareness to their customers and to their public.
Right. Well, Cliff, thanks so much. Appreciate you being with us, and be sure and take advantage of Cliff and the great work that the Groundwater Association does right here at this year's Groundwater Expo. On the floor of the 2014 Groundwater Expo with Scott Staten of Franklin Electric. Tell us what we're looking at here. This looks impressive.
This is impressive. This is our new inline 400. We're debuting at the show this year in 2014. This product will actually be readily available in 2015. It's a pressure boosting system for your home or a business or any other application you might have for irrigation. Similar to our inline 1100, which we released quite a few years ago, which is a constant pressure whole house system. This one is basically just a pressure boost. So it takes in pressure that may be below 40 psi, and it's going to boost that pressure by about 55 psi at a full flow, full shutoff, complete pressure on that. Typically around 10 gallons per minute, it's going to produce about 40 psi, which is a great operating point for anybody's home because it's going to take that incoming pressure of about 30 psi and it's going to boost it another 40. So that gives you right in that range of somebody who wants a real nice pressure boost for whether they're irrigating in their home, or maybe they have a shower that has multiple shower heads that they're getting a lot of pressure drop when other fixtures come on in the home. But what's really unique about this product, it's all self-contained. It's got a lot of components and electronic in there that we've really thought out a lot of things that happen in the home that protects the product. It's got fault protection built into it. But probably the best thing about it is we are using, as you can see from the picture over here, a 4-inch Franklin PMA, which is a pump motor assembly. So that gives the consumer or the user of this product a tried and true Franklin product with the motor that we've been putting in the ground for 50-some years. And that makes the product really high quality product as far as that goes with its operation. But very versatile, very compact, as you can see this. Easy to install, easy to put in line with the plumbing. And it's going to be a real good product for us this year.
Yeah. One of many neat things you'll see. Be sure and check out the Franklin Electric booth right here at the 2014 Groundwater Expo.
NGWA takes contractors, it takes suppliers, it takes manufacturers, it takes the scientists, and it takes the engineers, and it brings them all together in one room.
Over the last couple of years, I've started volunteering more for the organization. I think that it's important for us to be able to tell the politicians about science, support our industry, because water is essential for all life on this planet. I mean, you really can't, you can live without a lot of things, but you can't live without water. So I've been to DC now 3 times. Now I'm developing a relationship with senators and our representatives. So when they have a problem that's related to water, especially groundwater issues in their state, they know that they have this very proactive organization to go to get answers to their questions.
In a lot of areas, you go to somebody and say, where does water come from? Well, it comes out of the tap. And by being involved in the industry, you realize there's a lot more to it than that, and that water actually is a resource. Most of the water that we drink comes from water wells. And so we're drilling into the ground and then letting Mother Nature recharge the aquifers and fill them up again so that we can continue to draw water out of them. There's only a limited supply of actual available potable water. Unfortunately, if we don't do things right, we stand a chance at causing irreparable damage.
Groundwater is really important to life in general. I mean, it's important for the biosphere, it's important for natural processes and geology, it's important for just the whole Earth system in order to operate the way it should. A lot of what the NGWA is about is about advancing groundwater science and knowledge, but also to sustain that supply, to make sure that we have the water we need for the time frame that we want, which, you know, is always striving for infinity, but you never know. So.
We don't know what the future holds. Nobody can tell you how it does. But somewhere down the line, as time changes, as people change, as the world changes, the association may change with it, but it still will be to protect the resource. Whatever, it will still be its main objective. I always feel that in my heart. It's always been that way, and it will stay that way.
The National Groundwater Association 2014 Expo by the winner of the M. King Hubbard Award, Fred Maltz. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here.
Now, a little background on you. You are a research professor and distinguished scientist emeritus at Clemson University of South Carolina, and you are the winner of the Hubbard Award, presented to a person who has made major science or engineering contributions to the knowledge of groundwater through research, technical papers, teaching, and practical applications. So for you, when you found out that you were the recipient of this award, how did that make you feel?
Well, it made me feel very good. I really didn't expect it, because I thought I was being nominated for something else.
Right.
And so it came as quite a surprise.
Yeah. You were telling me earlier, you've been involved in this association since when?
Oh, the late 60s, basically.
All right. So for someone of your background and your expertise, what is it about this industry and this association, this arena, that has kept your interest these many years?
Well, it's actually a pretty hard question to answer, because I was always interested in research. Mm-hmm. And so I never really cared too much what research I did, but I always liked the idea of searching for answers when you don't understand something. Mm-hmm. And so in my undergraduate degree, I studied physics, but when it came time to graduate, I didn't want to go into modern physics.
Right.
I really wasn't good enough in math, frankly. It's been tremendously theoretical in the last several decades.
Right.
So I was looking for another field, and a hydrogeologist named Erwin Remsen had an advertisement up for a graduate student in hydrology.
Right.
And so I didn't want to leave Philadelphia at that time, because I was courting my wife.
Right.
So I applied for and got the assistantship. And that was the beginning of my work in the groundwater and soil water in the broad area. And I guess what kept my interest was the fact that we were starting to apply computers to groundwater problems, and Professor Remsen was a leader in that area. And so that was a long-term quantitative challenge.
Right.
And then the field, you could do field experiments to help verify what you were doing theoretically. and opportunities just kept coming forward. So
Right.
I don't really plan real far in ahead. I like to stay flexible,
Right.
and opportunities in the groundwater area just kept coming.
Right, and an involvement since the 60s and 70s. As you look around this association and this industry, I will note you noted that younger folks, you see a younger trend, but pleased by what you see?
Yeah, I'm very pleased. Of course, we all worry about the internet and the degree to which thoughtful processes are being computerized. Now, my generation was engaged in developing the software to do those kinds of things.
Right.
But in education now, you notice a lot of students who are using the software not really understanding what is under the software.
Right.
But it's so much more efficient than trying to do it from scratch.
Yeah.
That efficiency forces you to use it.
Right.
So I'm not sure where that's going to lead.
Right. Time will tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time will tell.
Well, congratulations, Fred Maltz of Clemson University, the winner of the Hubbard Award. Congratulations to you, and thanks for the time.
Well, thank you.
And interesting individuals like this being awarded here at this great National Groundwater Association 2014 Expo. Here with Scott Staten of Franklin Electric, you guys are harnessing the power of the sun. Just look for the solar panel this year at the Expo, huh?
Exactly. You know, we've had this display here before. We've added product to this. This is a great system. We've really started to get a lot of traction in the market with this. It's a great solution for those who don't have electricity or off the grid, if you will, out in the middle of somewhere with cattle, feeding cattle, watering cattle. You set this system up. It's a plug-and-play operation as far as we've got a kit that includes the pump and the drive and the motor. So that's what we call our solar quick pack. This is our solar sub drive. Very robust drive to be out in an environment where it's really tough. It's a Type 4 enclosure, so it's very durable. But what we've done this year, what's new about this product, is we've added a new 100-volt version. So we've got a 100-volt motor now with a three-quarter horsepower motor. And what that does is that allows us to use fewer panels. So a total system cost and installation is a lot less than it has been in the past. But one thing different about us is with this product, this is a full flow product, meaning that we're gonna get a lot of flow out of this, where a lot of the other solar products out there use a lot lower flow pump. So they're not getting as much water to the surface as you would normally get with one of the Franklin PMAs.
It's just look for the solar panel, and it's kind of hard to miss Franklin Electric. Always a fantastic partner and sponsor of the Groundwater Expo. Glad to have you guys back, and be sure and look for them at the 2014 Groundwater Expo. Here on the MudTech stage at the 2014 NGWA Expo, so many great things take place throughout the year, and the Groundwater Association is able to help so many people in so many ways. A neat deal about this year is a partnership with the Fisher House. Joe Brown is here with the Fisher House to tell us about, first of all, let's just kind of start with what is the Fisher House? Help us understand the great work that's done there.
All right, a lot of people are very familiar with the Ronald McDonald House concept for childhood cancer patients. The Fisher House takes that concept and applies it to military veterans. A veteran who is seriously injured in combat and comes to a VA hospital has an ability to have his parents or his wife and children stay at a Fisher House totally free of charge while he is being treated on a long-term or short-term basis. So if, let's say, your son loses a leg or has very serious brain injury, whatever, in Afghanistan, he's brought eventually to the nearest VA hospital. A lot of times that nearest VA hospital might be quite a distance from your home. And so this enables you as a parent or you as a spouse or child to go check into a Fisher House without any cost whatsoever to you for as long as your disabled vet
Those
is there.
are there, right.
And you don't pay a penny.
And now, how is the Groundwater Association partnering with y'all, and how is that working? It's going toward a house here in Nevada?
Yes. I belong to and was a founding member of a Nevada organization called the Nevada Military Support Alliance. We were founded right after America went into Iraq in 2003, and we lost 2 Marines in the same combat zone, and both of them left young children and wives. And we started our organization to help Nevadans killed or injured, people who lost their legs or whatever. And then we learned about the Fisher House, and we have a fairly new Veterans Hospital here. So veterans from the southern Nevada area, California and Arizona are being brought into this VA hospital. And again, the parents, the children, the wives will have a place to stay if we build a Fisher House here.
And you're pretty close, right, in terms of the funding?
Yes. Nevada has 2 substantial bases here. Nellis Air Force Base is where all of the fighter pilots in the Air Combat Command do their training. And so there are quite a bit of combat veterans in the Air Force here, as well as Creech Air Force Base, which is the home of the drones. Right. And we decided that we were the last major city with a major military installation that did not have a Fisher House. So we went to the Fisher Foundation 2 years ago, actually a year ago May, and said to them, if we raise the money for you, will you build one here? And they have told us no other facility in the world has done what we have done and contributed on the local level the amount of money towards their foundation.
That's
so
fantastic.
We are going to, hopefully, we have a date scheduled of March 27th of this year to break ground. We're going to build a facility with 16 rooms in it, and it's going to be a total cost of $6 million, and our contribution is going to be 3 of that $6 million. We had a fundraiser dinner last April, and at that one night we raised $1.5 million, more than that, almost $2 million. We've just recently received another $500,000 donation from a private foundation here in Las Vegas.
Right.
And so we are very close. We are within $2.8 million of our $3 million contribution. So we are hopeful with the Groundwater Association is going to help us cross that goal.
And the website, or to find out more, how can folks be a part of what you're doing?
Our website is NevadaMilitarySupportAlliance.org.
Okay.
Or you can go to Fisher House Foundation.
All right. And find it out there.
Yeah, .com or .org.
Right.
I'm not sure what it is. But either one, you can give to the Fisher House Foundation and designate it for the Las Vegas project, or give it to us directly.
That's fantastic.
Designated as Fisher House.
That's great what you all are doing. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Fisher House, Joe Brown here with doing a great work. Fisher House, a part of what is happening at the NGWA 2014, the great expo here.